Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, I can.
Fantastic. All right. Fantastic. Thank you. All right. Okay, so let's get started. So welcome to Labs by Bincom once again. Just give me a second. All right. All right, welcome to Labs by Bincom. What is Labs by Bincom? It is a 3 to 6 month program where we bring tech professionals like we have here, like you, like the other participants on this call. We bring you guys together to do one thing, to build a digital technology product. In summary, a tech startup that will be used by real people, right? Um, just a phrase to describe what we do at Labs by Bincom is a pre-incubator program. For some of us here that's familiar with the startup space, you know there's a category called the incubator programs, where you have like sort of Y Combinator, Barclays, etc. Tech, Tech Nation, right? These are incubator programs. But here in Labs by Bincom, we are a pre-incubator program where tech professionals come together to build a startup from scratch, right? Emphasis on building a startup or building a tech startup from scratch, right? And the goal here is to build an MVP, minimum viable product, right? The first version of a tech product that can be used by people that would solve a problem, right? Here at Last by Bincom, our goal is to solve a problem worldwide. It's not tied just to Nigeria, it's not tied to just Africa, a worldwide problem. You can decide to just pick a particular location in the whole world, a problem in a particular location, and try to solve that problem. That's fine, right? However, the goal is this program is not tied to solving problems in Nigeria, Africa. It is a program that encourages solving using tech to solve a problem worldwide. All right. Moving on. This is for you if you are looking for an active program where you'll be working on real life projects. It is definitely a virtual lab. It is not a physical. We don't make it compulsory to have physical meetings or you attend physical classes or whatnot. No, right? Everything you are doing is virtual, right? You have meetings with your team members, with your mentors virtually, right? If you're here and you want to use this as a work experience on your CV, Labs by Bincom is for you also. If you're here, you are looking to apply for various tech-enabled visas across the world, in any country, right? Probably the global talent visa or skilled worker visa or probably startup visa in different countries, as the case may be. Labs by Bincom is also for you. If you are here, you're a tech professional, I just want to add startup experience to your portfolio, right? This is also the place for you. Bottom line is here Labs by Bincom, all right? Our goal is number one, to encourage tech professionals to work together to build tech startups that solve problems. And secondly, to add that experience to your portfolio. We have quite a number of tech professionals or beginners in tech, right, that do not have any experience. They only have the skill. Probably you're attending a boot camp and you're looking to work on a project. Labs by Bincom is a place where you can work on that project. Or you need a tech experience to be able to apply for a tech visa you are looking to apply for, right? Building a startup in Labs by Bincom gives you that opportunity, that gives you that experience that you can use to apply. And if you are here, you want to apply for a startup visa or whatnot, all right, startup you build here can be used to apply for that particular startup visa in whatever country you are looking to apply for. And if you're a student, you just want this to, for your IT placement. Last by Bincom is also for you, but you have to let us know ahead of time, right? And if you are just a tech professional and you just want to add a startup experience to your CV, Labs by Bincom is also the right place for you. So as much as possible, we are trying to cater for a group of people with different needs, all right, which I've mentioned earlier on. So, like I said, tech professionals, non-tech, you're looking to transition into tech, you're a fresh graduate, a freelancer, you're a student or NYC, and you're looking for IT placement, skill acquisition. This is the place for you also. Okay, so like we have all introduced ourselves, we have paid front-end developers there, digital marketing. These are some of the skill sets that will be needed in anything part-time, right? Notes, like I said, the goal here is for participants to build a startup from scratch. You are not building it on your own. You'll be put into a team, right? Or you'll be grouped into teams. A team can contain 3, 4, 5, 6 members with different skill sets. You can have a digital marketer in the team. Somebody else is the front-end developer. Somebody else is the project manager. And what you'll be doing is building a startup from the ideation stage to the MVP stage. You all will be working together in a team, both as co-founders in the team. And these are some of the skill sets you'll be needing in that team. If you're here, you're looking to transition into tech. And you've not decided what skill sets to go for, right? We have other programs in Bincom that can assist you with that and give you the basic knowledge of the skill set. Then you can build on that while you are in your team. All right. So we do not, as much as possible, close the gates from people who don't have a tech skill yet, but are looking to have a tech skill. You are welcome to Labs by Bincom if you fall in that category. If you're already a professional, this is an opportunity to then test your skill set, to use your skill sets to solve a problem. There's an emphasis on solving a problem here because our goal is to create solutions that will be useful for people, not just something fancy that you think tech looks fancy, but a solution. It could be an app, it could be a web app, it could be just a website, it could be a Chrome extension, it could be a tool, whatever it is, right? The goal is that it's solving one problem. One problem. All right, moving on. How does Labs by Bincom work? Like I said, this is the preliminary stage, all right? Where you're making the decisions to move into stage 1 or not. So Labs by Bincom is a journey. It's a 3 to 6 months program where you'll be coming together to build this tech products, all right? This product-led digital technology startup. And like I said, it's going to be solving a problem. You'll be put into teams of nothing less than 3 and nothing more than 10. So each team cannot contain less than 3 members and cannot contain more than 10 members at any given time. All right. So speaking of the stages, stage 1, which is after this preliminary stage, is where we'll be onboarding participants. And the goal for stage 1 is to come up with a project brief. What do I mean by a project brief? A project brief basically summarizes what the team will be building, whatever startup you'll be building in terms of the technology involved, in terms of how you're going to make money with it. If you want to, you can decide to make it an NGO. That's up to you, right? The details of the skill set that will be needed, the timeline for building this product, right? The problem the product is solving, the target audience for your product. This will be detailed in the project brief, and you have 1 month to complete this stage 1, right? At this stage, we expect all the team members to discuss within yourselves. We won't be giving you the ideas to use. You guys have to do proper market research, come up with a tech idea, come up with a problem first that you would like to solve, and come up with a tech solution to solve that problem. And within your team, come up with a project documents. However, don't be afraid. A team mentor will be allotted to your team. We'll get to that as we move on. So at the end of stage one, you'll be submitting a project brief that contains all the details about what you'll be building as a team. Now, moving to stage two, which is also 1 month, which is the project execution. Are you building an app, web app, whatever you are building? This is when you build it, right? This is when you build that app, you start creating social media accounts, you build the websites as a team. This is what you'll be doing in stage two, right? And at the end of the day, we are expected to see an MVP, a minimum viable product, right? The first version of the solution you're trying to provide. Either it's an app, it could just have one feature. One thing we emphasize in Labs by Bincom is you don't need to build the new Facebook. You don't need to build the new WhatsApp, right? You don't need to wait and try to build the biggest of projects. If it's just one feature, your product as for your MVP, and that feature is solving one problem, that is fine, right? A lot of things run into a quagmire where they are trying to build a lot of features, it's costing them a lot of time and manpower, and they end up not actually completing the project because they are doing too many things. Here Labs, you are building an MVP, right? I'm emphasizing this because we don't want a situation where a team starts a project and you are not able to complete it. So build an MVP, just one feature, right, that is solving a problem if possible. Then stage three is where you then test this MVP you have built, get people to use it. And I'll give you an example of what I mean by that. I was speaking with a friend earlier this morning, and she's working on a web app, right, for immigrants looking for sponsorship jobs and all that, right? And what she's doing right now is product testing, right? She's getting people to test the product and all that. So you are doing this so that people can give you feedback and say, okay, we've tested this your MVP. We notice ABC is working, but EFG is not working. Or we don't need A, but B is working well, but we just need to add C to B to be perfect. So this is the stage where you're getting a lot of feedbacks from your users, and you can then improve on the product and enter an incubator program if you wish as a team. That's up to you as a team. If you notice the progression through Labs have been come from stage one to the final stage is that you are starting from scratch, from idea. Oh, I think this problem is affecting this sector, health sector, education sector, whatever sector it is, all right? And we feel we can't solve this problem without it costing us too much. Let's get started with this. And it takes you through building it up to the final stage where people then start using it and giving you feedback. That is the goal of Labs by Bincom. People find your MVP useful. So the goal is not just building an MVP. The goal here is ensuring that you are building an MVP that people will find useful and be solving the problem. So what does this involve? We expect that as an individual, you are volunteering at least 8 hours a week with your team. Again, this is firstly a team project. We expect that you'll be spending for the stage one typically is majorly research because that's when you're still deciding what to build. You'll be working with your mentor who will be guiding you along the way. So, excuse me. You'll be working with your mentor who will be guiding you along the way to building this, right? Or coming up with the idea, finalizing the idea. Typically, as a team, you are meant to have at least 2 or 3 ideas you'll be presenting to your mentor, and your mentor will guide you to finally decide on one idea. Of course, we are not expecting you to build on 3 ideas. So present about 2 to 3 ideas to your mentor. Then your mentor with you guys, based on your experience, would then guide you into finally agreeing on one idea, right? Which the team will be building at the end of the day, or will be creating a project document or a product document for. All right, so we'll be grouping participants into teams randomly. So in case you came here with a friend, all right, you might not be in the same team with your friend. I'm just saying this ahead of time so that you don't get shocked when you are separated from your friend. We expect that you guys work together as a team, right? Sometimes you might need to undo some tasks for a team member. Maybe is not available, or you don't even have that skill set in your team. For example, if you're a digital marketer and you don't have a product manager, you might need to pick up basic project management skills to be able to handle or manage your team. All right. A team ceases to exist if you have less than 3 active members. Yes. If you have less than 3 active members, a team would be officially closed. However, there's a solution to that in case probably you have 3 members in your team and one person is not serious. I said to drop out. Sorry for that. And decides to drop out of the team does not mean there's a solution to that. And we'll get, if you wait till the end of this part of this session, we'll get to I will get to talk about that part of this. Now, all teams are required to build a product-led digital technology. Yes. In case you are wondering what a product-led digital technology startup is, it is simply a startup that is product-led, a startup that whatever you are building, an app, a tool, is what is generating revenue for the business. I'll give you an example. WhatsApp is product-led because everything about WhatsApp is tied to the app itself or to the tool itself, all right? Zoom is product-led because the only thing you know about Zoom is because is the tool, is the web app. You sign up and start doing video calls like this, all right? A lot of us have a lot of apps on our phone. That the only way you know about the business is because of that app, right, or that tool. For digital marketers, SEMrush, for example, right, or Klaviyo, an email marketing tool, for instance, you know the company because of the tool, all right. And secondly, product-led means digital technology startup means they don't need to see you physically to be able to use your products. Meaning, if you're thinking of setting up a shop somewhere and you have an office and you be the manager of the office and people come in and go out of your office, that is not the kind of startup you are building here. All right. So have that at the back of your mind. You are building a product-led digital technology. You can read more about it online. You can ask your mentors more questions around this to get more clarity. Yeah. All right. So give me a moment, please. I need to quickly attend to this. All right. Apologies for that. All codes must be in public domain. So now, this is very, very important, and I need everybody to listen with rapt attention. This is very, very important. While in Labs by Bincom, the core idea you are building is in public domain, right? And while you are building it in Labs by Bincom, nobody owns it. And why this is in place is so that no team member, while you are building, goes to register it, for example, into a business and says, oh, this is Moturayo's technology startup. I register it, go to CAC or whatever government organization is applicable in the country you are in, and you register it. No, that's not allowed, right? This is not a time where we also put this in place to avoid where team members are fighting over ownership of the startup or the one that built it and no, right? So while you're in Labs by Bincom, Labs owns it. But after you have built your MVP and your 6 months has elapsed, right? The team owns the startup. You guys can do whatever you wish with your startup, right? But during these 6 months, 3 to 6 months, Labs by Bincom is in charge of the startup, right? You are building it in Labs by Bincom. It is referred to a Labs by Bincom Dev Center company. However, once you are done with your startup, you are in charge of your startup. You can decide to enter an incubator program or continue building or bootstrapping with your startup, or you just end it there and take away the experience. So why this is in place is so that the team, each participant and the team can focus on one, building the startup, two, gaining the experience required from this, right? in labs at Bincom, as much as possible, we are preparing you for the world. For example, if you are just a beginner in tech, right, and you really need tech, you really need the experience when it comes to whatever skill set you have, you need to add that experience to your portfolio. We need you to focus on that. All right. And if whatever you are a professional and you want to build a startup, all right, that will then solve problem and you make money with it. We want you to focus on the building. Once you are done with this pre-incubator program, the startup is your own and you can decide to do it whatever you want to do with it after the pre-incubator program. All right. In all cases, all startups will be dissolved at the end of 6 months. That means, let me rephrase that, all teams will be dissolved. For instance, in labs, after the 6 months, and you're still building your product, we allow you to continue building your product. But you might not have access to some of the services that labs offers. For instance, our platform, you won't have access to it. Secondly, the mentors will need to move to other teams, right? Because we have different cohorts on a yearly basis. We could have 3, 4 cohorts in a year, 5 cohorts in a year. And these resources are scarce in terms of mentors and other resources we'll be offering each team. So we have to move these resources to the new cohorts, right? But as a team, you guys can still be working together. In fact, depending on the relationship you build with your mentors can decide to pop in and out just to, share their ideas with you. All right. But after 6 months, we will stop. The team will be dissolved. You guys can then have another platform where you guys discuss, and that is fine by us. The startup is yours. You can move on with your startup and do what you wish with it. Is there If there is a potential, the products will be invited to Bincom incubator program. Here we have an incubator program, but it's not compulsory. The details of that, there are details, there are things that the startup must fulfill. However, we will not be getting to that now. All companies must be, already talked about this. Each team will be attached to a mentor. I already spoke about this. All stages must be completed within stipulated time. Like I said, 1 month per stage, right? It sounds like a short time, but the honest truth is, a project will be completed within the time frame you have given it. If you give it 1 month to be, if you give it 1 year, it will take you 1 year. As much as possible, we want you to finish building and be agile, right? Be agile as a team and build your MVP. All discussions and engagements will be on Bincom Tech Network. Every participant will be added to their team on Slack. Participants from any team can be withdrawn at any time during the program. Yeah. If we notice a track record of seriousness, unavailability, right, we would raise it. And if need be, we will withdraw you from the program. For instance, you're not participating in your team, you're not doing completing tasks or taking responsibility in your team you're dragging your team back, we would remove you, from labs by Bincom. All participants must be active members of Bincom Tech Network. That's our Slack channel, and that's the official platform for labs where we'll be hosting this cohort. That's where you're communicating with your team members, right? And we'll be putting every official communication on Slack. All right, there's something in red. There's a sentence in red I would love somebody to read for me. Who would volunteer to read it? Anybody? Somebody was volunteer, or is our call name? Divine, are you on the call? This is how I'll know who is still active.
Okay. So, sir, it says, do not invest any idea you do not wish to be in the public domain in a labs by Bincom company.
All right, thank you. Do not invest in any idea you do not wish to be in public domain in a labs by Bincom company. Meaning, if you have that brainchild that you feel is so dear to you, and you do not want somebody to steal it from you, either your team members or anybody, you have been nursing that brainchild for years. I don't want somebody to take it away from you or steal your idea. Please don't bring it to labs, right? If you have that idea that is so dear to you, again, and you bring it to your team and they don't accept it for whatever reason, it's not the idea that is finally decided on. It might hurt you, it might break your heart, and you feel this idea is the perfect idea and you guys are not saying it. I'm leaving your team. To avoid that, do not be emotionally attached to any idea. Again, do not be emotionally attached to any idea. We've seen it happen several times. I will try to emphasize it. Do not be emotionally attached to an idea. You might bring it to your team and you discuss with your mentor as a team, and the idea is not viable at that point. It could be for different reasons. It might not be because, oh, the idea is not good. No, the idea might be perfect, but might not be good for labs by Bincom, and your team members might not agree with you. It makes you feel bad. Please don't feel bad. All right. So don't be emotionally attached to any idea. Like you said, what we expect from you, at least 8 hours commitment weekly, teamwork with fellow participants, work with your mentor along the way, study and follow all rules involved. All communications must be on Slack. Always check Slack channel for updates. All codes must be on GitHub, meaning in public domain. What you should expect from us here, an opportunity to practicalize your skill sets, collaborate with other career tracks, exposed to quality mentorship. So speaking of this, we have one-on-one mentorship programs for specific tech tracks, right? Not for startup. Startup is majorly for the team. So startup mentors are majorly for the team, but for individuals who need a mentor for your career, either you're a front-end developer, you're a product manager, you need a mentor. We also have that for it's free. All right, you can just sign up and we will match it to a mentor once they are available, and you can schedule meetings with them. All right, I already spoke about the different stages in the program. I'm going to quickly move forward and come back. Okay, let me quickly talk about the mentors. So your cohort mentor, right, is a knowledgeable and experienced person in the tech space, somebody who has built startups in the past, successful startups in the past, both successful and failed, because in the startup world, failure is knowledge. Failure is gold because you get to understand what made you fail and you avoid it in your next startup, right? So these mentors are people who are knowledgeable in the startup space and can provide quality mentorship for your team. However, the responsibility of the mentor is to guide your team, right? Guide your team. Your mentor will not be building a startup. Your mentor will not be chasing you as a team to say, you guys have not had a meeting with me. Let's talk about what are you guys doing. Your mentor will not do that because as much as you are busy, your mentors are also busy. All right. So it's important I emphasize this. Each team will have a team leader, and your team leader will be in constant communication with your mentor. Just to, okay, give your mentor information on progress of your project and where you need your mentor to come in. You can easily set up a meeting with your mentor, discuss the challenge you have, right? If you're having difficulties reaching out to your mentor, you can always reach out to us so that we can reach out to your mentor and just ensure that problem is quickly solved, right? For example, yeah, so then you cannot move to the next stage without your mentor's approval. For example, if you have your product document ready, your mentor must see it before it gets to us. Your mentor must approve your product document before it gets to us. If your MVP is finally built, your mentor must be able to give you feedback on your MVP, right, and approve it before it also gets to us, right? So those are the things. And we'll talk to your mentors every month just to get feedback about team and team members and understand how you guys are doing and what, if we need to step in at any point in time, we'll be doing that. All right. So let me talk about this. We have a curriculum in labs, right? So this is the second part, and very, very important. Like I said, our goal here is to raise tech professionals who have startup experience, who can stand on their own with their startup experience and decide to build a startup or work for other startups across the world. All right. And our curriculum here is the Y Combinator Startup School. It is free to sign up. This is the website. For some of us, you must have gotten the link to this in your email. If not, no problem, right? You still get it when you get to stage 1 or when you are added to your team channel. You'll be sent the link, all right? The course must be completed on or before the end of the program, right? It is a very, very good course for any tech professional looking to have startup experience. For some of us that know Y Combinator, you know how huge they are in the startup space, right? They've collated or brought together a lot of brilliant startup founders to talk about building a startup at different stages, and you'll be learning a whole lot, right? It's free to sign up, like I said, you have to sign up as a co-founder. And emphasis on that now. Everybody is a co-founder in whatever team you are in. You are a co-founder. You are not a team member. And this brings a lot of responsibility. You have to handle the startup like your own. Because it is your own, actually, it is not our own. Because at the end of labs, you guys will handle your startup yourself. You want to build it up, or you just want to gain the experience or whatnot. All right. So take it as such. You are signing up with Y Combinator as Y Combinator Startup School as a co-founder. You are supposed to take it seriously. All right. There's a certificate of completion. We expect everybody to get that certificate. Something you can add to your LinkedIn page, you can add to your profile, right? And you are more likely, so this is a start, right? You can check it out. You are more likely to get employed. You are 3 times more likely to get employed in the tech space if you have startup experience. It doesn't matter your tech skill. You're a programmer, you are a software developer, you're a mobile app, you're a data analyst. If you have startup experience on your CV, you have a higher chance of employment, all right, in the tech space, because it is expected that you've learned a whole lot from building a startup. All right, so this is the curriculum, all right? You can see module 1, deciding to start a startup, what it takes, ideation, getting and evaluating startup ideas. In fact, some of these things, you need to even start going through it now. If you have not started, you need to have started. All right, so that you already have knowledge before you start thinking of ideas. All right. Building a founding team, planning an MVP, launching, growing and monetizing, fundraising and company building, stories from great founders. So it's packed. If you are interested and passionate about gaining startup experience as a tech professional, this curriculum is the best you can get in India. All right. And we encourage participants to go through it religiously. On a weekly basis, we expect feedback, which is why I'm coming here. So we expect progress reports on Slack on a weekly basis. It doesn't have to be detailed. Just give us the modules you've gone through. And you can even add what you've learned, which is fine. Right. We also track progress reports from team. If you're attending stand-up, if you're attending team meetings, we would know from the progress reports from each team. All right. So we expect to see reports after every meeting, either within yourselves or with a mentor, so you can know who is attending or whatnot. Then mentor assessment, like I said, we'll be discussing with the mentors on a monthly basis so we know what each team is doing. Okay, this will be tracked on Bincom Tech Network Slack workspace. We expect all these conversations to happen on Slack so that we can track it, right? Any participant deemed not active on the cohort will be removed from the cohort. So let me just quickly move. Sorry. All right, I've talked about this. I've talked about the 3 stages already. Let me just go through this briefly. The purpose of the meeting is to onboard. Yeah, welcome. A presentation of the startup proposal as such. Feedback. Yep, we'll be expecting feedback from Y Combinator Startup School course, each of you. All right, so spoken about cross-functional team, working together as a team, Right? As digital marketer, you might need to take the role of a project manager in your team, or a project manager might need to take the role of a digital marketer. A backend developer might need to take the role of a front-end developer if you don't have. Now, I said something earlier on. I said if a team is less than 3 members, right, the team will cease to exist, right? Now, there's a clause to that. As a team, you are free to bring in new team members. It could be a colleague, it could be a friend. For example, you need a UI UX designer on your team, right? And you don't have it. You can easily reach out to a friend to bring a friend on board to join your team. Or we have on Slack, for instance, we have a lot of tech professionals that if you sell your product idea to them well, right, they would be interested. Some of them might be interested in joining your team and becoming a team member with you without needing to get paid, right? And that is a way to increase your team members, right? If you can have 5 team members and you badly need a software developer in your team, right? Reach out to our different communities. We have communities on WhatsApp, Telegram, Slack. You can reach out to friends to join your team. You can put it out on LinkedIn for people to join your team, right? For specific skill sets you need based on what you are building. All right. And if they buy into your idea, voila, you have a new team member. However, at every point in time you bring in a new team member, please let us know it. All team members must agree to this. All right. Don't just bring somebody because you feel the person. As a team must agree to bring a new person to join you. Nobody has that monopoly of governance. Yeah. And let us know. The person can decide to join officially or unofficially. It's up to you. Up to the person. All right. Having said that, now this is important. In labs that Bincom, we do not encourage you spending money. We don't encourage you going to hire a tech professional to help you build your startup and will charge you thousands of pounds or dollars or whatnot. We expect you to work as a team. Use free tools, credits, free solutions out there, right? As much as you can, right? It's free trial as much as you can. However, if you have to spend any money to be out of pocket as a team, and you cannot spend more than £350, including marketing expenses, right, to get people to test your product, for instance. But we expect you to purely grow organically. We don't expect you spending a lot of money building your startup. All right, use free options as much as possible. When you get an incubator program, then you can raise Series A, Series B, and all that. You can raise funding for your startup when you get to that level. But here in a pre-incubator program like Labs, we don't encourage a team spending unnecessarily. All right, so the last part, breakout room, we'll be doing this shortly. This is the next thing we'll be doing, right? But I know we all have, I believe we would have questions. So before I go into questions, let me quickly touch on this. There are various ways to move to stage 1 of Labs by Bincom, right? We have the paid membership. Labs by Bincom is worth £750, right? So there's a paid membership option. Now, there's a second option. We are partnered with a lot of brands, Emigrate, Global Tech, etc. And we know we give them slots and they, send some of their teams or their participants, they send participants from this partner group. So if you are here in any of this partner group, we will confirm you, right? Then finally, the scholarship option, right? As much as possible, our goal is to ensure that tech professionals gain the experience, startup experience as much as possible, right, on their portfolio, even build the startup as their own, right? So we have quite a number of scholarship slots, right, for everybody for as much people as will be interested on the call, right? Details of this will be sent via email by Monday to everybody that attended today's session. Right? Then you can decide to choose which option. If you're coming from a partnership program, you receive an email that goes alongside. We'll confirm that from our end. We get the names from our partners. If you are if you would like to pay, the link to pay will be there. If you would like to go the scholarship route and apply for the scholarship, there are a few things you need to do to qualify for the scholarship. They are easy, not so difficult to provide. Promise, right? The link to apply for the scholarship will also be included, right? There. The scholarship is again open to everyone who is interested, and everyone will be given the option to apply for scholarship. Because again, our goal is to build tech professionals who are startup aware, who are able to give back to the startup space in Africa and the world as a whole. Right, we are building global talents here in the labs of Bincom. That's our goal. All right. Before I talk about the FAQs, right? I believe there are questions. We are afraid if there are no questions. So, are there questions? If you have questions, you can unmute and ask a question so that I can attend to them. Questions? No questions? Chiamaka, Tony. You said what?
So my question is, how many weeks do we have for the business proposal?
Thank you for using the word business proposal, because it could also be seen as a business proposal, right? Yes, a month. You can submit it in 2 weeks if you wish, or a month is the time allotted for that. Did I answer your question, Tony?
Yes, sir.
All right. Any other question? All right. Let me quickly address the give me a second. Let me quickly address the FAQs so that in case there are some people who are shy to ask questions, you don't have to be shy. Trust me. Let me just do this. Okay, so how long is the program? 3 to 6 months. Now, I'm saying 3 to 6 months. Yeah, meant to have finished building your MVP latest by the end of the 3rd month. The remaining 3 months is so that you can act on the feedback you've gotten. The final stage is getting feedback, getting people to actually use it. So they will give you feedback. So the remaining 3 months is so that you can then, tell you feature 1 or feature 2 is not good, change it. Or we don't like this button is not properly placed on the app, change this, change that. That's what the remaining 3 months is for, to do whatever changes you need. Second one, do I need to be an expert to register? You don't need to be an expert in whatever skill set to register. That's why you're here. But beginner level, you can join a team, and whatever knowledge you have, you impart it on the team. However, we expect that you keep upskilling. All right, you keep upskilling where necessary. You can be in a team and they give you probably a UI designer and you don't have a lot of skill sets, right? Probably just not to use Figma. Yeah. And we expect you to be able to know, watch videos, learn other skill sets to be part of this. If you are just breaking into tech, probably are thinking, okay, I want to be a product manager, I want to be a, software developer, right? There's another arm of Bincom, and that's the Bincom Academy, where you can sign up and go through our 4 weeks class, 4 weeks or 1 month, right? 4 weeks or 1 more class, right? Just to learn more about a particular tech career path you are willing to sign up for, right? But again, Labs at Bincom is where you practicalize whatever skill sets you have learned, right? And while you're even learning, you can be in Labs at Bincom. We've had participants that did not have any skill set, join Labs at Bincom, join Bincom Academy, go through the 1 month class, and got so good. Your first month in Labs at Bincom is majorly research. By the time you start building, you already have learned from Bincom Academy, then you come to labs, and you then, practicalize some of the skill sets you have. What if a team member drops out? Already answered this question. What if a team member drops out before the end of 3 months? You can always bring in a new team member, right, to join your team at any point in time. Can I make the startup part of my work experience? Yes. Add it to your CV. We'll stand in as a reference for you. We've had participants who have gotten jobs based on their participation in labs, and that's the only skill set they have. Right. I remember one, she just finished the NYSC joined labs, went through the program. She was the product manager, and that was the only job she had on her CV. And she was able to get a banking job as a product manager. I was stood in as a reference for her because the bank reached out to us. So that's one of the advantages you have. You can always add it to your CV as a work experience. How will I include the information? Yes, you have the information, probably you're a programmer, you're a product manager, you can add links to the website or whatnot, or a document project. You are the product manager and you work on the product document or the business plan. You can add links to it to your portfolio, whatnot, right? You can always reference it online. If it is on Google Play app, it's always there. All right. What happens after 6 months program? Like I said, you can decide to do what you wish with your startup. But officially, we will dissolve you as a team. Can labs by Bincom be regarded as a school internship? Yes. However, let us know in time so that the necessary documentation, letters, internship, papers and all that should be properly appended. I don't know anything about building a startup. That's why you're here. You have the curriculum. Start watching. You finish Y Combinator, you will have all the knowledge you need to build a startup. Not knowledge, right? Then you need to practicalize the knowledge in building it. So you're also welcome. Who will fund the project? We expect you not to spend any money. If you will at all, within the team, you have to fund the project. Yep. All right, that would be all for this section, right? I believe there are no questions anymore. All right. If you still have questions, okay. Is somebody planning to ask a question?
I have questions, sir.
All right, please fire.
Let me. Okay.
What did you say?
Thank you. Okay, thank you for the whole listing, lectures and class. I really appreciate. In fact, I learned a lot today. Then the confusing part of the question I want to ask is, I, as a cybersecurity specialist, how do I come in on this program? Because now this program, I think this program is about startup, brainstorming an idea, a kind of, creating an app or applications. So how do I, as a security personnel, come in on this program? That's my question, sir.
All right. So again, it all depends on the startup you and your team will be building, right? I read about a startup that went down, basically, that packed up recently. And the problem the startup had was a cybersecurity problem, right? They were attacked cyberly, and all their products, their code, everything was corrupted. And the hacker just, took everything away. And that was just it, right? So it shows the importance of a cybersecurity expert like you, Tony, or a professional like you, Tony, all right? So whatever team you are in, whatever startup you are building, yeah, your skill sets might be needed at the point of MVP, building the MVP to secure the startup to ensure that you are not hacked, the codes, whatever you need to do, all right, is properly done. Do you get me, Tony? So, like I said, your skill set is most likely needed when or just at the point of getting people to test your product. You never can tell who is testing the product or who can hack into whatever you have built. It could be a web app, it could be an app itself, right? But it's important, right, that somebody like you is in a team to ensure that the product you have built, the codes you have written, is protected from cyber attack. Did I answer your question, Tony?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got that, sir. Okay.
All right. Any other questions from anybody? I was open for more.
Yes, I have a question.
Sorry, it was that.
This is Seth.
All right. Everybody's video is off. Please turn on your video. Let me see your faces. You guys are seeing my faces.
Okay.
Turn on. Let me see your faces. Godwin, Chiamaka, Tony, Moturayo, thank you. Your video has been on all through. Thank you for that. Yeah. All right. Please ask.
Yeah, right. So what I want to understand is when the teams are randomly selected, is there any consideration taken on the different skills that we have when a random? Because as Tony mentioned, he's in cybersecurity. I mean,
Sorry,
other people have.
I can barely hear you. Can you be because of your emotion?
Okay. Okay, can you hear me now?
Okay, I think it's a bit clearer.
All right. So I'm asking when the teams are being picked randomly, are there any considerations on the skill sets that we have? Because is it just random? For example, like Tony here works in cybersecurity, and I here work in a Python as a Python developer. So are the teams just randomly picked without any consideration our skill sets?
All right. Thank you for your question. It's a very important question. Yeah. So when I mean random, right, it means we'll be the one to decide on how the team members will be put. That was specifically the statement was specifically towards people's expectation of, oh, I already have a team member. I know this person's my team member. But going to be the same team, right? Sometimes we need to split teams. For example, if we have two teams in a cohort and we have two developers, right? Just two developers in the team. We will most likely not put the two developers in one team. We might need to split them separately into two other teams. Did I answer your question, Seth?
Yes.
All right. One last question before we move to the final stage, because this is also very important. One last question. Anybody going? All right. Who's asking?
I have a question, sir.
Okay. Your video, I don't know who is talking. No, your video is not. Let me see your face so I know. Okay, all right. I can see your face.
My question is this: you said there was a link there you're going to send to us to go through startup and the rest. Yeah. Are we going to finish the link before starting the project, or are we going to be on the link and also be doing the project?
All right, thank you, Nemika. Yes, you have to do both simultaneously. Now, let me just emphasize on that a bit. So that's the Y Combinator Startup School is the curriculum. These are videos you expect to go through. As much as possible, all right, spend 1 hour, 30 minutes to 1 hour on a weekly on these videos. And here's how to do it. Many of us on the call, okay, don't let me say many, some of us on the call, right, are social media, have social media accounts. You're on social media, either Twitter, TikTok. You spend hours on this platform, right? The best way to go through this program is to devote, if it's just 10 minutes in a day, probably you're coming back from work, or you're just chilling, right? Or you're just doing household chores, right? You can just put, while the video is playing, you're doing whatever you are doing. If it's just 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 5 minutes on a daily basis. For example, if you do 10 minutes on a daily basis, from Monday to Friday or Saturday, that's 60 minutes worth of knowledge that you've gotten, all right? So yes, you'll be doing it alongside the program. You'll be attending your team meetings and working in startup, whatever tasks you'll be given, all right? Alongside, you have to be going through that course program. So you gain all the right, to build.
Okay, so I have one last question, sir. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the register, the one you say we should register for the labs, we should apply for scholarship, and also is this separate, or Are we going to first register before anything for the? We are going to first register on that one.
Okay, so the next step is to register for the scholarship or if a partner program or whatnot. That's the next step. That's the next email that will be sent to you. Right.
Okay.
However, depending on how you registered, all right, you might have gotten it already or not. You have included the link, this right from the first start of school, they included it in one of the emails we've sent out, right, over the course of the last few weeks, all right. Some people might have gotten the email, some people might not have gotten it yet, right? But you will get it. However, if, for example, your email should be coming in the next step, that will be on Monday. If you're applying for scholarship or your partner program, you'll be added to your team immediately, and the link will be sent to your group once you're added to your Slack group channel. The link will be sent to your group so you can get started. However, if it's already in your email, get started on your own. It is a free program. You can get started on your own. All right. You don't need to be added. Did I answer your question, Nimika?
Yes, sir. So we should. So we are going to wait for the email to register before anything. Then the team, they are going to select us randomly.
That's correct.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yes. So just keep an eye on your email, right? Which brings me to the last thing we'll be doing today. Before we leave, we'll spend the next few minutes, right? Startup building starts with ideation, coming up with ideas, right? Smart ideas that will solve one problems. But given what startup is doing, it is solving, and that's what we'll be doing next. Figuring out problems you think tech can solve in the world right now, right? Either there's already a solution for it and it's not working well, or there's no solution for it, or you feel it can be solved in a better way, right? Look around you, tech problems you think can solve. I'll be doing that on the call right now. So I'll be adding everybody to different breakout rooms, and you would have about 30 to 40 minutes to discuss within yourselves. Get to know each other first, then start brainstorming on problems around you that you feel tech can solve, right? Now, the goal again is to focus on the problems, because we realize that a lot of people build startups that nobody needs because it's just fancy, it's just nice. We don't build nice to haves in labs, we build solutions. Yeah. So just to get our brain juices going, yeah, I'll be dividing everybody into breakout rooms right now, where you discuss within yourselves, right? Discuss problems, pick up maybe top 2 or top 3 problems you think tech can solve. Tell us why this problem is important, why tech can solve it. If you have enough time, you can pick up this tech solution to solve it. If not, focus on, oh, I noticed this problem. This are the kind of people facing this problem or whatnot, right? This is free and there's no guideline to this, right? We just want your brain juices flowing, right? I'll be dividing us into breakout rooms now. You have, so this is 5:11. So by 5:45, we expect everybody to come back to the room. All right. Do we all understand what I just said?
Sir, the last one, sir, please. Your last statement. I didn't really get that, sir.
So I said I'll be dividing everybody into breakout rooms. So it could be a team of 3 people, 4 people, 5 people, depending. Right now, and the goal now is to discuss within yourselves problems you think tech can solve. You can pick 3 problems and one person. Pick 3 problems you think tech can solve. If you have enough time, you can find one solution for one of it. Oh, we think we can build this kind of tech to solve the problem. But the focus here is to think of problems you think tech can solve, right? And we'll be back by 5:45 to then discuss the different problems you guys have thought of. Call it a day. All right. It is very important to stay till the end, right? Because that's when you will be able to That's what will guarantee you getting the next email for the next step. If you don't stay till the end, we will not be able to communicate with you, right? So please stay to the end. Be active in the breakout room you added to, right? And at the end of the breakout room, each room should pick one person, right, that would present for them. Do we all understand that? All right, I believe we do. Just give me a second to add. Once you're added to a breakout room, just once the rooms are open, please just join. All right, the rooms have been open. Please join the breakout room. You see a notification. Please join the breakout room. The rooms have been open. Please join your breakout room. The rooms have been open.